Hello and welcome back to GSPseafishing, and in this video I am going to show you how to make fully adjustable tripod lights. So these will clip onto your tripod and light up your rod tip or your double rod tip, and can be made very easily. Fully adjustable, these twist backwards and forwards on the turn like that. They also turn sideways, and that's both of them. They can always be flipped over the other way. The torches can come out, clip back in. So there we have it. This is what we're going to build. Here is what you need to build it. So here we go. Everything in front of me here on this table is everything you're going to need to build this adjustable tripod or rod tip light for a double tripod. So the first thing obviously that you're going to need are a couple of torches. Now these you can pick up very cheap from any stores. These are £1.29 with batteries. There we go. And these were from Home Bargains. So £1.29 per torch. That's that. And then what I've got is Flowplast waste pipe. I've bought a long length of this because I did a rig jig build, and the rig jig build is up there. Shows you how to build a big rig jig for building rigs, and that's all built out of this stuff. So these are some offcuts. So I've got 3 cuts of this pipe. It's not dear. It's about £1.89 for 2 meters, 2.5 meters. So it's not dear at all. So we've got 3 sections of Flowplast. A couple of these are about, what's that, about 7-8 centimeters, and this one's about 20-25, but we can cut that down later. We've got a straight line joiner, Flowplast straight line joiner, and we've got a T section as well. Also got 2 clips, pipe clips for the Flowplast. These are for the torch. Most torches in the cheap £1, £2 range fit into these clips, so that's not a problem. We've got a plastic lollipop. Now I'll show you what this is for later, and then you'll be able to work out another thing that you'll be able to use. Anything plastic will do. This is going to be a handy little addition though. There I've got a little offcut of some high density foam off of a sandal. Now you can pick up sandals in Poundland for £1 with this high density foam sole. This is really useful, but failing that, just a couple of tap washers will do. Then got 2 bolts and either 1 locking nut or 2 nuts on each bolt. Got some electrical tape, and then tools. We're going to need an angle grinder with a cutting disc, 3mm. This is a 3mm thick cutting disc. That's what you're going to want generally. This is to match the thickness of the top bar of your tripod. And then we've got a drill, and you're going to need a drill bit to suit the size of the bolts that you're using. So there's all the bits you need. Let's get down to building. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do here in front of me is, with the longer piece of Flowplast, I'm going to work out where I want it to connect to this top bar. So this is the top bar of my tripod, and what I want it to do is I want it to be slightly angled inwards, so that when we put the T-piece section on the top, the lights are going to be in the middle, and then they adjust from there. So it doesn't matter the one's slightly above the other, doesn't really matter. You could put it straight if you've got room or width on the bar, but this one's going to be very tight if I did it straight, and it's going to be quite close to that rod. So I'm going to angle it in just like that, and then I can angle the lights accordingly. So on that angle here, this is where I want it, about there. I'm going to mark a dot on the side here, which is level with that bar there, and I'm going to do the same on the other side, level with the bar. So that what I'm going to end up with, I'm going to end up with a dot on one side that's going to be higher than the dot on the other side. That's because it's going to be angled, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm basically going to do a straight cut up there with the angle grinder, and then exactly on the opposite side I'm going to do a cut to the other dot. So let's get that done now. Now there we have the bit of pipe with the two grooves cut into it either side, one slightly longer than the other. This allows it to slide over the top bar of the tripod and give it a slight angle inwards. And then what I've done, I've got the coupling, the straight line coupling, and I have cut that at an angle, and that will then slide over this section like so, which I have shortened a bit of this pipe so that there's not so much overhang underneath. Now that is on there quite tight. I'm just going to do one more thing with this to make it a little bit more tighter. To get this coupling to secure in place a little bit better, what I've done is I've drilled a hole through it from one side to the other, just above the center divider. And what I'm going to do, this is the hole exactly the same size as this lollipop stick, but you could use a bolt or screw if you wanted to. And what I'm going to do, just glue that in place, then cut the sides off so it's flush. That will act to open this slot when it slots in, and it clips it in place nice and hard. Right, so I've mixed up a tiny bit of epoxy there, and all I'm going to do, get a bit in that hole there, and the same on this side. Like so. Push the lollipop stick through. Wait for that to dry, then I can cut the ends off. And there we have it. You got the bar in there, lollipop stick, glued in place. Now that can be a bolt or a screw if you want to, but I just wanted to keep it sort of the same in fitting. Now, if I put that on there now, I'll slide that onto the top bar. I can then get that in place like so and lock it into place there like that, and that's tight. That's not going to go anywhere, that's not coming off. So now we can start building the top part of this bracket where the lights mount. The first thing to do is to get this T section in place there, and they do push tight onto these sections, so there's no need for glue, and it just allows you just to turn and angle these like so. So the T piece is in place like this. You can then just push in your two sections or offcuts of white pipe where you're going to mount your torches for light. And then what you would really need to do, make sure these are in tight, pushed up, and then just measure the width of a bracket with enough space. I've left a couple of mil that side, I'm going to leave a couple of mil this side, and I'm just going to mark it where I'm going to cut that pipe. And again, we'll do the same on the other side. There we go. So I'm going to take these out, cut these to length. And there you have it. They're cut to length. So they can slot in now, like so. And they are ready for your brackets to be mounted on. So what I'm going to do, because I'm using slightly bigger bolts than the hole that's in this bracket, and I have got a bit of play to make this bigger, I'm just going to widen this hole, and then I'm going to drill straight through this pipe from one side to the other and bolt these two clips in place. Right, so there we have it. I have drilled out the centre hole a little bit bigger on these so that my bolt fits in, but I've also then countersunk the top so the bolts sit down, sit flush. I've then drilled a hole through here, and I've also cut two pieces of foam to act as a grip washer in between. So I can push that on there like so, push that through, and then with the double nuts I've got here, I can then do these up tight, and I'll do the first one up tight and then the second one after. So let's get both of these in place now. Right, and there we have it. We have the two clips bolted in place with the foam in between. I've done these up tight with my hands and it's gripped down nicely. So what we can do is we can get the two torches into these clamps. Here's one, like so. Two, like so. Now, have many adjustments. I can adjust it that way, and that is tight. This is a coupling that sits quite tight, so I can twist it like that. I can turn it like that, or like that. I can also turn the whole thing round like that. So if I want them the other way round, I can do that, and I can flip them up from the underside. I can then turn this gently like so and have them pointing that way. I can do any adjustment that I want with this, and there we have it. You've got your own homemade double tripod light. Let's see this in action. And there are the tripod lights working in action, lighting up the two rods. Anyway, I hope this has helped, and until next time, tight lines.